I saw an article on LinkedIn today that stated 2% of women received venture capital dollars in 2017. In the comments, someone wrote that they thought that number made sense because, and I won't paraphrase here, for thousands of years, men have been hunters while women have been homemakers and child rearers. The result is that men's brains are wired differently. Simply put, men are equipped to run a business venture and have what it takes to succeed. Now, when my daughters were born, I held them each in my arms for the first time. I immediately wanted nothing more for them than to experience all the opportunities that I have had and to achieve 10 times more than I ever will or could. I actually agree that it makes sense that only 2% of women receive venture dollars in 2017. That number makes sense because only 17% of founders are female. It makes sense because most venture capitalists are men. What does not make sense is the logic that because men were hunters for thousands of years and women were the homemakers, that there is some wiring in place that makes us better entrepreneurs. What does not make sense is thinking that great hunting skills will make you a better hunter. Hunters love to hunt. Any good hunter only wants to hunt. Founders need to be leaders who understand empathy and can build culture and nurture long-term relationships with teams, investors, and clients. What does make sense is recognizing that we as humans have spent much of our history led by great hunters, asserting ourselves with force, and creating huge imbalances in well-being around the world. We've proven historically that this does not seem to end well for all. What does make sense is acknowledging that any wiring that matters takes place at home, when a child is shown what kind of adult they're supposed to be by their parents. Mom gives Jenny a doll and tells her to brush her hair while Bobby gets Legos to build buildings with. Jenny is taught to be pretty and sweet, and Bobby is supposed to be confident and strong. Bobby is rewarded for his hard work and effort, while Jenny is protected or sheltered from it. Most schools' sports activities have historically been male-focused, and the girls can play too. That is, if they're not being pressured to be on the sidelines cheering in short skirts. By the time a child gets to college, it only makes sense that the college of choice is 67% male and looking for more tech degrees. It makes sense because gender has a currency. By the time a man makes it to the workforce, all he has to do is show up and try. And assuming he does the minimum requirements, he will achieve the minimum of his potential. By the time a woman makes it to the workforce, she needs to confront the preconceptions from her childhood, that her place is at home, not doing man's work, which comes along with judgment, condescension, and generally not being taken seriously. What doesn't make sense to me is the male-focused startups generate 31 cents in revenue. Female-founded startups generate 78 cents in revenue, dollar for dollar, with investment capital. And female founders have had to do this with only 2% of the investment capital available. A McKinsey study published that diverse teams were 33% more likely to lead to profitability. Diverse founders tackle real-world problems and tap into a $10 trillion purchase power of women buyers and diverse buyers. While I don't agree with it, I appreciate this comment because it does make sense that only 2% of female founders get investment. A lot of men are afraid to find out what happens when they're forced to measure up to properly funded female founders or VCs. It's up to us to change the wiring.